Okay, if everything has gone according to plan, we should be live on YouTube. Hello and welcome to day 2 of this Amazon Prime extravaganza for people who are too late for Amazon Prime Day. However, they just can't wait like a month more for Black Friday. That's apparently what the type of customer that this Prime Big Deals Day thing is supposedly targeting. So this is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, that is available on YouTube. But if you are new to this game, here's how it works. Basically, we go deal hunting on Amazon to see what is available. Now, the rules are we have a strict budget that is usually dictated by you guys in the audience, and we can only pick stuff that have this little sticker right here, this little label that says it's part of the deals going on today and well yesterday. So we can only choose those things. Even if there are other parts that are technically a better choice, we can't go with them. The challenge is we only have to pick parts from the sale, and like I said, there's also a very strict budget that we need to stick to. Now, as some users recommended, I say users, this isn't something you use, it's something you watch, like some of the viewers yesterday have recommended, this time around we'll be doing it a bit differently. Not only are we actually building a PC, but we're also going to be doing the whole thing, the whole setup that includes, for the first time ever, peripherals. So this is what it looked like yesterday. This is the build we had going yesterday. As you probably, if you watched yesterday, you know that I wasn't a big fan of it because of the fact that we couldn't squeeze that 5070 in because of how tight a budget was. And we eventually actually ended up with some money spare that we just like threw into a motherboard. That wasn't even like a big priority of an upgrade. But whatever, this time, obviously we can't go with the same $1,200 budget because we have all of these peripherals. I mean, we can try and make a PC and get everything else for the setup for $1,200. That would be extremely challenging. But again, as always, please recommend what the budget should be in the live chat. And if you ever see me kind of looking out there in the distance, I'm not like daydreaming, I'm just looking up at the chat, which is up there. So again, let me know what kind of price point we should be going for. Keep in mind, we have to do all of the parts we usually do, so CPU, motherboard, cooler, RAM, GPU, storage, PSU, case, and any additional cooling. But again, this time around, we're adding in monitor, mouse, keyboard, headphones, speakers, and mousepad. Even though most people probably have 1 or 2 mousepads already, they got at some like event or something. But I mean, just in case you don't, we'll be adding in here as well. Building my first PC tomorrow. Ordered what Google told me. Wish me luck. Wow, good luck. Good luck. I mean, hey, could be worse. You could have asked ChatGPT what's actually good. Actually, that would be a good competition. Just Googling stuff versus asking ChatGPT who's going to build a better PC. Or, for even better parts, and for even better advice, just watch this channel. Simple as. It's going to be smarter than Google and ChatGPT combined. But anyway, we should probably get started with this build. So if we're kind of sticking to a similar budget, I think we can maybe make the budget a slightly bigger just to spice it up from from the previous stream. Maybe like $1,300, and then an additional, it's like $400 gonna be enough for everything else. Obviously the biggest thing is gonna be the monitor. The monitor is gonna be at least like half of our additional peripheral budget, which I'm going to just include together. So I'm not going to have like a separate budget for the core components and a separate budget for everything else. It's going to be like one budget, which is going to be like what, $1,700? Does that sound okay for chat? Is $1,700 going to be a good enough challenge? Like it's not too big where we can just like put in whatever, but like it's still going to be slightly different to yesterday's PC, and it also gives us plenty of money to play around with to actually get a decent monitor, get some good mouse and keyboard going, get some good headphones and speakers and everything else could possibly need. I don't know, like an audio interface if you want to throw that in as well. I was thinking of maybe doing like, you know, full-on streaming setup, like webcam and mic as well, but I think that's a bit too much. Maybe for this, maybe like a future stream, I think we could do that. But let us go back here, shall we, and start looking. First thing I want to see, do we have anything else? Actually, no. Let me quickly go back to where we just were. I want to see if there's literally anything new here compared to yesterday, because the graphics card was just the biggest pain ever. Because I was trying to go for the 5070, which I don't think is... Oh no, the 5070 is still here. And it's $580, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but at $580, it's the exact same that it cost yesterday. If someone could just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same price as yesterday. So, granted, if we do have even just $100 more in our budget, maybe we'll be able to make it happen. But I doubt it. But again, maybe if something else went on sale in any of the other categories, like for example, if anything else went on sale in the CPU or the motherboard department, then that would also bring us quite the necessary flexibility to be able to squeeze in that 5070, because I still want to squeeze in that 5070. But I don't know. Let's just go to 5070 again. And then again, if we have to, we will get rid of it. So we just go back here into our beautiful little spreadsheet I made in like a second. We go GPU, this for $580. Boom. And that is our start. So now let's go and see if we have some different deals for CPUs compared to last time, because that is again going to be a pretty big deciding factor. That 7800 X3D we looked at is still the exact same 338, but again, if we're targeting like at least 1440p for this build, we wouldn't need a 7800 X3D anyway. A 1700X is the better choice. I think, didn't we end up going, yeah, we ended up going Intel. That was crazy, wasn't it? I think that's like the first stream in ages we actually ended up going Intel last time, because of just the fact that we couldn't make a AMD CPU fit into our budget, so we ended up going for a 14600 KF. So maybe we'll end up going for the same here, but again, let's just go with a 1700X first, and then we will... Actually, no, that would not work, right? Because if we're trying to squeeze in the 5070, okay, let's go with the original. Let's go with the... Where's the 4600K? If you're on a really tight budget, you can get a 12100F for $67, sure. There's a 4700KF. I hate how many just like random mini PCs that are just completely taking up this entire section on Amazon. It's incredible how bad Amazon search is as well. Like, I think that, wait, is the 14600KF, no, not the KFK, no longer on sale? Like, I don't get it. Am I just missing it because there's so many mini PCs I don't care about? Am I just that blind? Do I need to do I need to get new glasses again? 14 it was the 14600KF. Okay, I'm going to quickly go back to the spreadsheet. Yeah, it was the 14600KF. Unless I'm blind, which, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm kind of blind. That is going to complicate things quite a lot, because that thing was pretty much necessary to get to the price we did eventually. It was only $167. The next up, the 4700KF, is quite a bit more. And again, we're only dealing with $300 more. Not for it, $100 more. At least that's gonna imagine for the component side of things rather than the peripheral side of things. We could very much cheap out on the peripherals just to go for something better on the CPU front. But, that's difficult. That's difficult because without that thing on sale, there's greatly limited options. We still have the 1500 XT, but that's like, you know, on AM4. Okay, I don't want to get AM4. Unless we go current gen Intel. Said no one ever, but I think in this case it could actually be necessary because our options are limited. And like I said, the rules of this game are that you cannot go with anything that is not explicitly on sale as part of Prime Day or Prime Big Deal Day or whatever they call it. I don't. Is it Big Deal Day or Big Deals Day? Because here it says Prime Big Deal. What should we go for, guys? Please, please, please let me know, because I'm actually struggling here. The fact that a 4600K is not available is really messing a lot of plans I had for this. But also makes things a bit more interesting. That's why the build isn't identical to the one we did yesterday. So whatever. I think it has to be around the same price of around $200 or so. And right now the only thing we have around that price is this right here. The Quadra 5 225. Is it really worth it just to go for that 5070? Do as I say, not as I do, guys, but I think we're actually doing it. I think we're going for current gen Intel. This is a amazing live stream already. How much is it? $192 and a few cents, but we're not going to be worrying about those today. Let me just grab a quick sip of my beverage and we can continue. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And I'm hoping we're gonna get some actually good deals on motherboards as well. That's the other part. If we don't get good deals on current gen Intel motherboards, that's gonna complicate things even further. So we better hope that there's anything available for LG 1851 that isn't $335 from Asus ROG, ideally. B760, yeah, that's 1700. Z790, X670, you can get a Maximus for over $400. Oh boy, this is actually going to be a lot more difficult than imagined. Oh, Asus TUF B860 for $185. We're paying as much for the CPU as we are for the board, but if we have no other options, then sure. There's the B860M, which is slightly cheaper, but like, do we need to go all the way to like an M80X motherboard? I don't, just to save a couple of dollars? I don't think so. Granted, again, there's like not much of a difference, and this build is a complete mess already, and like I would never recommend anyone to go for this combination of parts, but okay, and these are not the kind of motherboards I'm talking about, Amazon. Okay, I think this is our only option. Again, if any of this is like, if you disagree with any of the options, oh wait, you can't actually see my screen. Oops, there we go, now you can see it. So yeah, we have the B860 right here. Everything else is either like high-end stuff. You don't get too many other good options for LG 1851 apart from B860. Everything else is like Z890, 300, 400 bucks. So that is definitely not in our budget today. So I think we are just gonna have to stick with that one. Not saying it's a bad board. It looks fine. Like I don't see anything wrong with it. Yet 20 gig USB Type-C, which is actually better than the other motherboard from yesterday. Sure, let's go with this, because again, the problem is there is just very little for LG 1851. You'd imagine, given how poorly they're selling, that they'd try to offload them by taking advantage of Prime Big Deal Day, but hey, maybe they're saving all that offloading for Black Friday, so whatever. Let's just go with this. For $185. That is quite a bit of a budget gone already. And we have so many other parts, but again, here's hoping. We'll build it first, and then if we have to cut corners, we'll do that later. Now let's go to RAM and see if there's any better deals than yesterday. Yesterday we had like, what, one kit from Acer? And this time around, even that isn't available. And the problem is that if I or at least yesterday, when I just type in DDR5, as you can see, it doesn't give me the little thingy. What if I type in memory? That's not what I meant, Amazon. This is what I meant, not supplements. If I go deals... This is amazing. What kind of memory could we be talking about? Are we talking about SD cards? Are we talking about like supplements of, I don't know, omega-6 or something? Oh, Amazon, you're so silly sometimes. Okay, let's go back to RAM, and let's just hope that we get something that isn't to do with the car. What's it? And just the plague of mini PCs completely taking over every single search result on Amazon. How do they do it? How do they take up every single search result? You get mini PCs. I think we may actually have to break some rules for this, because I don't think we can get... Is there like no memory on sale? Oh, yes, finally. Okay, we finally got the sticker. And nothing for DDR5. Why? Do you have something like Idealo where you can find the lowest price? I don't know what Idealo is. When it comes to like finding lowest prices, I mean, there's stuff like Honey, but I'm not using Honey for this, mostly because I'm only looking for stuff that is explicitly on sale on Prime Day. That's the kind of rules of these of this game. It is only stuff that's explicitly on this little thingy. But yeah, I mean, I usually do use stuff like Honey a bit for finding stuff, but again, not specifically for this game. Here, it's only Amazon, and it's only things that's part of a sale. And I think we are gonna have to, speaking of the rules, I think we're gonna have to cheat a bit, because there's literally no DDR5 memory available. So it's either that, or we go for a DDR4 build, which will make literally no sense, but this build doesn't make sense anyway. Oh wait, what's this? Wait, what? Oh, as I say, why is this like saying DDR5 for $16? What? Oh no, it's memory not included. These are literally just heatsinks. Heatsinks of RGB. That makes sense. So you're getting heatsinks. You're getting everything from, like, even DDR3 for some reason. But why is no DDR5 on sale? That's the confusing part. Why is there literally no DDR5 on sale? And that explains why when I I just searched this, I didn't get anything on sale. Okay, what do we do, guys? Do we follow the law that we cannot pick anything that's not on sale, and we downgrade to a DDR4 build and a DDR4 motherboard? Or do we cheat just a bit and pick out some memory because there's literally no DDR5 available for some reason? What do we go for, guys? Because I'm actually not sure what to do. This is the first time I've seen something like this, where there's like literally nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know like what else I can possibly search up here. What if I do this? DDR5. And it's just gave me DDR4. Like, good job, Amazon. Okay, I'm making the decision. We're just going to go with, to stay true to the game, I think we're just going to go with DDR4. It's going to completely ruin our build because it means we need to get a ancient motherboard at this point. I say ancient, like 3 or 4 year old motherboard at this point, but we kind of have to. It also means that we need a new CPU first and foremost. Thankfully, we had quite a few options for like a 5800 XT. That's still gonna be good enough, really, realistically, especially if we're kind of targeting 1440p. Again, it's do as I say, not as I do. Don't invest in DDR4 right now, please. Do not. We're just doing this for the purposes of the game, and the game is dumb. Okay? So, I swear there was like another Ryzen 5000. Yeah, 5900 XT. Oh, that's slightly above what I wanted. However, if we're only going for DDR4 RAM, maybe we'll be getting some savings there. Is there really nothing else for the AM4 socket? Can we sort by socket? No, we cannot, because Amazon is still awful. And yeah, there's nothing else available for AM4 apart from the 5500, which is a bit under what I'm aiming for this build, and the 1500 XT. So whatever, we're going for the 1500 XT. I hate this build already. This is gonna be a good... I wonder what I'm gonna hate more. This build or the one we did yesterday. Okay, and now we need a new motherboard for AM4. I mean, if we're not looking for anything too exciting, we can even just get a B550 Eagle from Gigabyte. It's literally $90. It's gonna be pretty much everything you could need. Shava asks, is it really a big difference between DDR4 and DDR5 for budget building? The thing is, okay, DDR5 has really gone down in price. However, the issue is that you can get some really good deals on old DDR4. Issue is that, like, because DDR4 is becoming a bit more scarce now, it's like in some places, and sometimes it's like going up in price as well. It's weird. It's more about the future potential. DDR4 is a dead end, and you'll be also limited in terms of what the memory can do, and also what the motherboard can do. Right. There's so many features in those older DDR4 motherboards that you'll be missing out on compared to what modern motherboards that support DDR5 can offer. So, unless you just really cannot afford anything else, or unless you get some like just insane can't pass on a deal, it's usually better just to invest in DDR5 now, spend a bit more, a couple extra dollars, and just be set for the next, like, I think we probably have like another, what, 3-4 years at least of DDR5 being relevant. So that's the thing. Zero asks, any thoughts on the mini forums 795S7? I'm thinking on it. I don't actually know which one that is. In terms of models for mini PCs, the only ones I'm really familiar with is Geekom, because I did quite a bit around them at IFA in Berlin recently, and I'll be actually getting quite a few mini PCs from Geekom to review soon, so that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to be definitely doing a bit of these. I'm actually not sure of what the 795S 7 actually offers, so if you can enlighten me about, you know, what's driving you towards that one, be my guest. Like actually let me know. And hey, maybe if maybe if Geekom videos do well, hopefully maybe it could do some reviews and coverage of mini PCs for minis forums in the future. I think that'd be cool. So I think that B550 is our top contender right about now. But I want to see what else we have. Is maybe something slightly higher end. I don't think there will be, but just in case, I'm still keeping an eye out. I think we're gonna have to go with that one. It's gonna be such a unbalanced build. Like, you're partnering a B550 motherboard, a very budget one at that, with a 5070. But again, if we're just pushing for that pure GPU performance, that's kind of my main objective here. Some of those other things will be really nice to have, but like whatever. You do get some... Wait, what on earth am I looking at here? Is that a... Oh, that's HDMI. Okay, that port in the middle, for a second I thought that's a micro USB port. That's kind of what it looked like, because like the scale was kind of off. So I thought that's like a micro USB at the back of a motherboard for some reason, but no, that's HDMI. You do get Type-C though, USB 3.2 Gen 2. If you can keep up with what those names mean, good for you. Even I can't keep up with what those names mean. Okay, I think that is going to be 20 gigabit per second actually. You get gigabit Ethernet. Honestly, who needs more than that? Enough USB Type A ports. Again, this isn't a amazing build. It's very unbalanced. But you gotta do what you gotta do to beat this game. And how much is it gonna be? $90. So at least we're making some pretty good savings on the motherboard. Wait a second, I think I get the price wrong on that, on the 5900 XT. I'm pretty sure it's it's $246, not $346. I was about to say. Okay, so we're down to just $916. So now if we go back to the memory situation, which was the reason why we had to kind of retroactively change what our CPU and motherboard were. What did I search up? PC RAM, so I don't get parts for cars. Yeah. It doesn't give me too much enthusiasm from Gigastone, whoever that is. But again, those are the rules of the game. I really don't understand why the situation with memory is so appalling this Prime Day. It's never been like this. There's always been plenty of DDR5 options for sale, but it's like nothing. I really don't understand it. Why? Genuinely, why? If anyone knows, please let me know. Are companies just like sensing that DDR5 is going to go up in prices and they just don't want to put it on sale? However, we are going to get ourselves 2 kits of this. Purely because 32 gigs, I think, is the main, like, what we want to be targeting in 2025. So this will be the one I'm going for. Gigastone Game Pro, whatever it is, it's going to serve us just fine. It's going to serve us just fine, and again, I'm not happy about it. But when you have to, you know. So we're just going to go with this, and together that's going to cost us $73 for 2 kits, which means that we have, I'm just going to add like a ×2 at the end there. So now we have quite a bit of money spare, where we can actually hopefully get some good peripherals at the end of this. I'm not just going to go for like cheapest possible mouse and keyboard with like membrane keys or whatever. Or maybe, so let's actually go with a CPU cooler next. I've been playing too much Cyberpunk recently. What do we have here? We do have pretty much the exact same options as last time. And last time we went for the Thermalright Peerless Assassin, it was a really good dual heatsink, dual fan option that's a bit cheaper than the Pure Rock by around $10. This is one of those things where if we're going to have the budget spare, I can see myself going back and getting the Be Quiet. But for a 5900 XT, this is going to be enough, and I think I'm going to go for this one again, just because it's the best priced one that appears to have enough actual cooling dissipation capacity with its setup to actually be able to cool a 1500 XT. So we're gonna go with this right here for I'm just gonna round it up, $37. Boom. Zero says is Ryzen 9 7900X 7945H XPC with a built-in PCIe 5 slot. It's a bare bones option for $470 that allows you to add low profile cards and has a 400 watt PSU. The PC is not proprietary. $470 for a motherboard and a Ryzen 9? Even if it's a last gen Ryzen 9, that's still a pretty good price. The 400 watt PSU is going to be the main limiting factor there, unless you the fact it has built-in PC Gen 5 is awesome. However, like if that PC itself is going to be taking up probably 150 watts already, maybe up to 200. That's like half a PSU. What can you do with a 200 watt spare in terms of like a good enough GPU? That's kind of my main concern there. You could always go for like an external GPU or get like a larger PSU. See if someone like, I don't know, see if Silverstone, they make plenty of small form factor PSUs. Maybe they have like something that's slightly higher wattage in 400, because I can't see what you can do with that. But yeah, let's move on to storage. And yesterday, the big concern, the big kind of dilemma I had is that we had some pretty good options for 2 terabyte drives. I think it was, which one did we end up going for? It was this one, the 990 Pro from Samsung for $133. That's a pretty decent price for 2 terabytes of fast Samsung flash storage. However, then there's this one, which was also on sale yesterday, and again here. You get 4 terabytes, ladies and gentlemen, for just $200. That's big. That's pretty big. And once again, I'm tempted to get it. But people said yesterday that they would prefer, like we did a poll and everything, and they said that they'd prefer to get a 990 Pro because it's slightly faster, even if it doesn't matter for most cases, but again, it's cheaper and allows us to kind of stretch our budget elsewhere. And 2 terabytes, you could fit like 2 whole modern games on it. So yeah, I think we'll be going for this. We have the 990 Pro right here. There's the 990 Evo as well. It's only 1 terabyte. Like if you wanted like a boot drive, maybe. But again, if you're just talking pure capacity per dollar, nothing beats this right here, the WD Blue 4 terabytes. Because even if you took these, you know, you're paying for 3 terabytes as much as you're paying for 4 terabytes with just a single drive here. And especially because we're dealing with a B550 board. If you wanted to really maximize what you want to do with it, you know, it would be better to get one really big drive rather than like having plenty of NVMe's because of the PC lane limitations of such an old chipset, a budget chipset at that. So again, this is one of those things where if we do have the storage, if we have the budget left afterwards, we will revisit. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world either. PSU now. Okay, we want to go for that 850 minimum because we do have a 5070. And I think last time what did we go for last time? I think it's gonna be the same thing. Last time it was it was the gigabyte one, because we were afraid that the thermal take one is gonna blow up in our faces or something. Yeah, this one right here. This one doesn't have fantastic ratings either, 3.4 stars, but like whatever, it's modular, it's from a trusted brand that's been in the PSU business for quite a while. And again, we don't have too many other options here. There's this one, which just looks insane. Like, what am I even looking at here? However, it's from a company called Golden Field, who I've never heard of. Actually, I think I may have seen them on these, only in the context of these live streams. And I probably just made the exact same comment, like, oh, I'd never trust them with a PSU. You can add a different case or a different PSU since it's not proprietary. You could buy the motherboard separately and DIY the PC. Yourself, the only bad thing is the CPU is soldered. Yeah, like with many kind of really integrated devices, the CPU is the biggest factor. Well, no, some really compact devices will also have soldered RAM, and I think that's a way worse offense than a solid CPU. But yeah, if you can swap out a better PSU so you can actually drive a proper GPU, then I think that would be, that could be a pretty decent PC. Again, just what is your use case for like a mini PC specifically, and like what is the price difference between just going for a desktop PC? That's what I'm also wondering about. Matthias Labuta says, what is the hardest thing about ITX case? Oh, the hardest part is that you'll be kind of limited in terms of what you can do in it. It's nice, it's small, it's compact. However, a lot of ITX motherboards that you need for an ITX PC, usually they don't go down, like even though they're a lot smaller, you'd expect them to cost less. That is not always the case. And there's also, in terms of building in them, like it obviously gets a lot more finicky because there's a lot less space. You always have to consider the graphics card. If the graphics card is going to be an issue, that of course also means cooling. There are quite a bit of a lot of downsides to ITX, but if you can make them, if you can make a cool build in an ITX case, more power to you. It's nice, compact, and it for the most part will have the same performance as a mid tower or even like an EATX build, full tower. Okay, so there's also this thing right here which I noticed. What's the difference between this listing and this listing? This is a GPUD850GMA PG5. What is the PG5? Because this is a PCIe Gen 5 one. Oh, we definitely need this for our card. Okay, this one, we don't have to worry about this one not having only a 3.4 star rating, because this one has literally no rating. So it's in a complete mystery if it's going to work or not. But I like a good mystery, so we'll take it. Okay. That's almost the budget I set aside for just the PC gone already, $1,300. So we may have to take from the peripheral budget in a bit, but I think it could still be some time before we need to really get worried about how much we're going to have left over. Now let's get a case. And, oh, this is good. We're actually getting some decent stuff from brands I've heard of, because from yesterday's stream, there's like nothing from the big guys, but here now we're getting Thermaltake, you're getting ASUS. Granted, there's still plenty of stuff from companies I've never heard of before, but again, yesterday the only thing from a company I've heard of before was the Thermaltake Tower 600, and now we actually have some other options. Not many, but at least it's something. This from ASUS would be a good option, if not for the fact that it was white and just like not matching the rest of our build. Well, no, I think the 5070 is white. The motherboard is more silvery, but I think we could make this work, and we could go for like a white build, which I don't think we've ever gone for a white build in a white case in the history of this game. Matthias says, I'm building my first PC and bought an ITX case. Sounds awesome. Good luck with that. Definitely let me know how it goes. And hey, if you want to share how it goes, you can always join our Discord and, you know, share some pictures there. We can have people really like and just like showing off the PC builds or any other kind of projects there. So you can definitely join, and the link to it is going to be down in the video description below. And by the way, in the video description below, you're also going to find Amazon links, because if you will be buying anything on Amazon as part of this sale, or literally anything else, right? If you get to Amazon using those links, you don't pay anything extra, while we get some of the money that gets reinvested straight into the channel, right? You could be buying dog food. You could be buying like paint to paint your living room. Whatever you're buying from Amazon, as long as you get there using that link, it does not matter. And you don't pay a penny extra. It's awesome. Okay, that begging for money over, let's get back to selecting a case. And I think we're going to go over this one from ASUS. It's a decent price, it's from a decent company. However, the thing I just realized, does not come with any fans included, and especially given how we're already kind of tight on money, that is going to be kind of it won't be great. Yesterday we went for this thing right here. It's called a K6 from a company called who knows. Oh no, it says here Foifkin or whatever. If you've ever heard of that company, raise your hand, because I've never heard of them. But the good part is they came with a whopping 6 pre-installed fans. They're probably not pretty good fans, because you're getting a case and 6 fans for $48. But again, when we're kind of struggling for a budget here. Oh, there's also this right here. It's slightly more expensive, but you get 9 pre-include fans. It's white. Keep in mind we're going for 5070. It needs to be properly cooled. Okay, let's go with this from this random company. And then if we, oh wait, you can't see what I'm looking at. Oops. There we go. Now you should be able to see. So yeah, we'll be going for this right here, the Ansite PC case ATX, $76. And this is what we went for last time, the K6. It's a lot cheaper, and it comes with 6 pre-included fans. This actually matches the rest of the, or at least matches the graphics card, and it's also gonna have all of the cooling we need to actually probably cool a 5090 XT and 590 XT and a 5070. This right here, which is also cheaper, has 4 pre-included fans. That could also work. But again, for now we'll be going with this because it gives us plenty of cooling. It also gives us plenty of flexibility, because we don't have to buy additional fans. And that's what, $78. Cool. Murphy says, start booting PCs at 12 gen. Never had so many headaches. A lot has happened since then. A lot has happened since then. You missed out on, you missed out on building a PC with an RTX 40 or 50 series graphics card and praying that the connector doesn't mount. You missed out on so much stuff, fun stuff. Okay, what are we going for next? That's the main build done. We are $32 over what I kind of was hoping we're going to spend on it. So now we can just go for the peripherals. Yay! So we'll be starting off with a monitor, and we are very much going to be targeting 1440p, given how we have a 5070. We could even maybe get away with 4K. I mean, we could definitely get away with 4K. But again, given the price, given the budget we are sticking to here, it's a very strict budget, so we're going to have to go with 1440p. The 1440p monitors have gone way down in price. You can get like a MSI one here, 27 inches, which is $130. And you can get yourself, what, 32-inch curved for $200? It's 32 inches. I think we're onto a winner already with this. There's an Acer Nitro, but that's 27 inches. But 32 inches. And curved. And with HDR10, 180 Hz. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna need your input here, guys. What monitor do we go for here? Are we sticking to 27, or are we going up to 32 inches? I think this will be the perfect one here, and that's actually a pretty good price. There's also, if we want to step up a monitor game, there's also this one from Samsung. It's not curved. Actually, okay, yeah. Why does it cost so much more? It's the exact same refresh rate, and it's not curved. Why does it cost so much more? It's just because it's Samsung? Probably. There's a 25-incher from Samsung. Let's go to the next page. There's an AOC, that's 27. I want to go 32-inch if we can. Oh, for $60 more than that one, there's this one right here. It's ultra-wide. It's 165 Hz, so it's slightly lower in terms of refresh rate. However, I don't know how insane of a person you have to be able to tell a difference of 15 Hz. Like, those are the kind of people who do nothing but just play CSGO every single waking minute. Or is CSGO even a popular game now? I don't know. Oh, sorry, it's CS2 now. Like, I never understood that kind of demand for, you know, like, past 200 Hz refresh rates. Like, at that point, it's just diminishing returns get insane, and let's be honest, you're not benefiting from it at all. I mean, people benefiting from that tiny difference are like the 1% of elite gamers who compete on like a global stage. People are saying 27-inch non-curved. Oh, okay, I'm like the worst person to ask about like, is 27 inches too small or not, given how I have a giant 43-inch one on my desk, which means I kind of lose perspective. But come on, you can get a 32. Don't you guys prefer a 32-inch one when it's available for $200? There's this one, but that's only 100 Hz, so maybe not. So if we go back here, do we just go for this one right here? It's 32 inches, it's curved, it's 180 Hz. What more could you want? Get the MSI optics, it's more budget friendly. Keep in mind, we do have some budget left. Like, our target is $1,700, and we're on $1,300 right now. So that leaves us $200 for everything else. Okay, look, I'll do what I usually do in these, and that is I'll go for the nicer one first, and then if you're really struggling, I'll go back and change it and get a slightly cheaper monitor. I'm trying to find the MSI Optics one you're talking about. Is it this one? The MSI Pro? I can't see another MSI one here. Samsung, AOC, Sansui, which I've perfect name just to confuse elderly grandmas into thinking you're buying a Samsung. Oh, there's the MSI Optics. It's $10 cheaper. However, you're losing out on the refresh rate. You're going down to 144 from 180, which again, I think only crazy people will notice the difference. But still, for $10 more, well, you may as well. You may as well. What Mev is asking what this PC is supposed to be for. Okay, so the way this game works is that we are trying to build a gaming PC, all of the components and the peripherals, for $1,700, and we can only buy stuff that has the Prime, that's like part of Amazon Prime Day, a Prime Big Deal Day. So if you're just dropping in, this is what we have so far, right? So we just finished getting all of the actual key components and hardware. So we had $1,332 exactly, and now we are looking at some of the peripherals, starting off with the monitor. Because we're going with a 5070, that is why I'm targeting a 1440p monitor that can do a decent refresh rate, just to make the most of that 5070. So yeah, I am going to go for that one first, because the MSI Optics is decent. but like we're losing refresh rate for only $10 of savings, and I don't think we're that desperate just yet. So unless there's like another one that people are seeing that is like a much better deal. Oh, it's this one. Okay, that's 27 inches. If I can, I want to go 32 inches. 24th. There's a okay. I was going to say, oh, 34 inch. That could be a nice upgrade. Just notice the price. That's because it's an OLED. Man. OLEDs are definitely worth it though. I've become such a big fan of OLEDs since I experienced them for the first time. I really can't wait until someone makes like an OLED variant of my monitor right now so I can upgrade to and have an OLED on my desk. So I already have an OLED in my other office, but like for my main one, it actually looks so good. 27 inches, MSI MPG. Okay, enough wasting time. We are gonna go for the LG 32GS60 QCR because monitor names are never simple. For $200, and then we'll adjust if we need to, because we have quite a bit left to get a decent enough mouse keyboard. I say decent enough. We're not getting something like that Corsair one we recently reviewed or unboxed / reviewed, where it costs like $180 for a 10 keyless keyboard. We're definitely not doing that. But what GPU would you buy if you have Ryzen 5 3600 or 5500? Well, that mostly depends on what resolution you're targeting first and foremost. Like if you have 1080p, you can get away with a cheaper graphics card because your CPU is going more of a bottleneck. If you're going 1440p or 4K, then you need to invest in a more expensive GPU because that's going to be your main bottleneck there. And do we consider this for some sweaty CS2 Valorant comp gaming? No. Obviously they just want to go for like a 1080p 500Hz monitor, but I'm building this for a sensible person. I made enemies of the whole Counter-Strike sweaty community, and all of the 0 people of that community that are probably watching this live stream right about now. Okay. Gaming keyboard. That is our next destination on our journey through the Amazon rainforest over here. In terms of stuff from brands I actually recognize, it's the exact same issue as yesterday. You get Red Dragon and that's it. Oh, no, you have a Logitech one. That wasn't here last live stream. Logitech G413. I'm pretty sure I used to use this keyboard ages ago before I switched to my G915. I think that was a good keyboard from what I remember. Granted, you can get a wireless one from Red Dragon for just a few bucks more. I think this is going to be a winner, ladies and gentlemen. $60 to an actually reputable brand. It's full size, it's not 10 kilos, it's full size, and it's wireless. And it has hot swap switches if you don't like the included quiet red ones. They're probably not like official Cherry MX, they're probably like knockoffs or like some low quality switches, but hey. There are some other ones that are also pretty cheap if, again, we need to find some room in our budget later down the line. Some other Red Dragon wired ones. But again, I think we'll be going for that one first. And then again, if we need to cut stuff out, we'll adjust later. So we're gonna go for this, the Red Dragon K556 Pro, as the very first keyboard we're ever doing in one of these live streams, because again, Like I said, this is the first time we are doing a full build, including peripherals. Usually we only do the components. Also, yeah, if you're for anyone joining in, if you're wondering why I'm constantly like looking out in the distance over there, that's just because that's where I have chat. Okay, mouse. On to the mouse. What are our options? Starting off with Logitech deals. Okay, Logitech are just coming out of everything for the second day. Nice. A G502 is a pretty good choice, given how I'm not biased, but I'm using a G502 right now. But it's the wireless G502X. You can already tell from just looking at these that the buttons are going to be so mushy on some of these like $16 mouse. Again, if we actually want to have some self-respect and go with something from an actual named brand, ironically, we are going to be going, I think, for a... Oh, no, okay. I was about to say, I think we may have to go for a wireless keyboard and a wired mouse, which will make no sense in the world. Like, obviously, you'd prefer a wireless mouse more than a wireless keyboard. Because, like, you just notice the lack of a wire on a mouse. But then I noticed you get a G305 here for $27. And that's going to be our choice, because there's, like, literally nothing else good available from a reputable brand. There's some Red Dragon stuff, but I don't know how much I trust the mouse for $22. I'm sorry. Hey, Red Dragon, if you're watching this, you can send some of your stuff for review, and I'll you know, take those words back. $27. And while I quickly look at what headphones we have, this is your reminder: if you're buying anything from Amazon as part of this sales, or like even just for any other reason, as long as you go to Amazon using our Amazon links, which are down in the video description below, then you don't pay anything extra. While we get some money, it gets reinvested back into the channel. It's an awesome deal for literally everyone involved. Okay, what are some deals on gaming headsets? I already see you can get a Black Shark V2 for $31. I think that's going to be our main point of reference here, because I don't see anything that's going to beat that. There's some other stuff that is like slightly more expensive, but we are very quickly running out of budget here. And a Black Shark V2 is good. We recently covered the brand new Black Shark 3s. Razer send us over. They're pretty sweet, but they're like the new like high-end ones that cost like $200 something for headphones. Like, they're good, but they're not that good. Because especially at that price, you can just get some good standalone headphones and then get a mic instead of getting a gaming headset. So I think, again, unless anyone spots anything else, you can go for that. Again, if we had a slightly thicker budget, then we could go for something like the Sennheiser ones. $280 for HD 620Ss, that's awesome. But again, that's not for our budget. There's some Fifine ones. Like, Fifine have been very like active. Like, they're all over the place. But the fact that they are still shipping so many different products, and like people are actually coming back, and these have a 4.3 rating, they have to be doing something right. There's also a Steel series here, but it's like slightly more expensive, whatever. Again, if you ever disagree with any of these choices, please yell at me in the ooh, wrong window, there we go. Please yell at me in the chat. And if you really want to yell at me, how about sending a super chat, huh? Okay, so that's $31. That means we have $50 spare. We aren't doing as bad as I thought. I don't think we'll be getting good speakers for $50. And again, if we don't get a mouse pad, I think that's like the least of our worries. Because again, I think most people do have a mouse pad from somewhere. And like a good mouse pad is just, yeah, anything can be a good mouse pad if you try hard enough. You can get some Creative Pebbles. I tried them at CES in Vegas. They were pretty decent when I visited the creative booth there. You can get some bookshelf speakers here. They're slightly above our budget, and you probably want to have some kind of audio interface. Or just like any kind of like preamp. First off, I actually need to, I forgot, I need to do this special thingy that gives us all of the options that are actually on sale. There we go. Red Dragon even do speakers. I did not know that. Makes total sense. They even make soundbars? Really? I'm really tempted to see what a Red Dragon soundbar for $28 sounds like. There's some Edifier stuff on sale. That's kind of cool. How about some Ohio speakers? Not Ohio as a state. Ohio spelled like that for some reason. There's like a whole Fi-Fine set here with subwoofer for $58. That's insane. I was going to say, like, how are they making them so cheap? But then I realized, oh, it's because just the huge economies of scale at play here with like most stuff from China. It blows my mind that you can get anything electronic nowadays for as little as $11. But I think we're gonna have to go for the Pebbles because what on earth is that thing? Gravistar Mars Pro Bluetooth speaker. That's like the most try-hardy looking Bluetooth speaker I have ever seen. Are you guys seeing this? It looks like one of the... it looks like it belongs in like the Incredibles movie, does it not? If we had even just $10 spare, we could go for like some Edifier ones. I have no idea if like G1000s are good. Like Edifier as a brand is a brand I'd trust. But okay, let's just go with the Pebbles because... Wait, where are the Pebbles gone? Oh no, were the Pebbles not on sale? Okay, that kind of messes up my plans. Who is buying speakers in 2025? People who like I know the economy is bad and many people are like living with roommates or whatever and just like listening to everything on headphones. But if you can, why not buy speakers so you can just enjoy things without having, you know, headphones weighing down on your head. Is that an actual thing? Like, are people going away from buying speakers? If so, that's like the first time I'm hearing about it. Maybe I'm just too old. But for me, speakers are like an essential part of any PC build. Again, you technically don't need them. If you're on a really tight budget, obviously you can get away with having only either headphones or speakers. But if we have a $1,700 as we're kind of having right here for this build, you can get away with some speakers, blast some music, or just enjoy, you know, not having to deal with having headphones on your head. Make it more comfortable. Do we just meme this and go for something like this Blue D soundbar because it like perfectly fits our budget? I have no idea if it's gonna be any good. There's these things right here from Edifier that perfectly fit in our budget though. Again, it's a company I'd actually trust. Wait, are these only Bluetooth? They can't be, right? Oh no, you can just connect them up normally. Okay, yeah, this is like there's a lot that's very memey about this build, but this is the biggest meme of them all. Going for Edifier gaming speakers that look like this. That look like they have the height logo in the middle actually. Oh, wait a second. It says Edifier, but in here it says Hecate? And here it just says gaming on the side. I am so confused by this product. Is like Hecate like a sub-brand of Edifier, or is this like... Yeah, Edifier Hecate G1000. People seem to like them. 4.4 stars. Sure, let's just go over. This is not a build I'm proud of. by any means. But again, sticking to the rules of the game, $1,700 and we have it. We have ourselves a AM4 based PC in 2025, in late 2025, with a Ryzen 9 5900 XT and a budget $90 B550 Eagle with Wi-Fi 6. We have a Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 dual heatsink, dual fan cooler. We have 32 gigs of DDR4 Gigastone Game Pro memory in fabulous red. We have an Asus RTX 5070 for $580. We have ourselves a Samsung 990 Pro SSD with 2 whole terabytes of lightning fast PC Gen 5 flash. We have ourselves a Gigabyte 850 watt fully modular PC Gen 5 ready PSU that will hopefully not blow up your PC and your house. We have ourselves an Anseit PC case with a whopping 9 pre-included fans, which is $78. So those fans are probably going to blow up your house more than anything. We have ourselves an LG 32 GS60 QCB Ultra Gear monitor, which is a curved 1440p, 180 hertz refresh rate, HDR10, everything you could want, especially at this kind of 50 to pair nicely with 5070. For a mouse, you have yourself a Logitech G305 Lightspeed, very basic, but it's at least wireless. You have yourself a Redragon K506 Pro keyboard, not that 10 kilos of compact nonsense, it's a full-grown keyboard as they should be. You have yourself a Razer Blackshark V2X headset and Edifier Hackett, whatever it's called, G1000 speakers for $50. I'm not proud of this build. This is one of the weirdest builds we've ever done in this entire series, and this series has been going for many years now. This series was around when like the big GPU shortages of the crypto times were still around. So this is an old series. I've seen a lot in this series, and this is one of the weirdest builds yet. It's even weirder than the build we did yesterday. Won't be quad channel memory too much for that 5900 XT. I ran quad channel with I ran 4.6 with my 3700X, so I don't think it will be a problem. What about Logitech Z313? Was that an option? Logitech Z313. It's above our budget, and also it's not on sale. Again, the rules of the game are, no matter how dumb the compromise we have to do, they have to be on sale as part of Prime Day, Black Friday, or whenever we do these live streams. That's what makes it fun, even if the final build is a complete mess, as in this case. This is a build I would never recommend anyone do for that kind of budget. But we also saw some stuff that I would actually recommend. That LG monitor is a pretty good deal. That WD Blue, which I talked about, which he didn't end up getting, but it's still fantastic. $200 for 4 terabytes on a single SSD Gen 4 at that. That's a really, really good deal. And again, if you're fine having some cases from no-name brands, there's plenty of deals for that. There are like no deals for DDR5 memory at all, though, which is still confusing. And Be Quiet coolers, plenty of Be Quiet coolers were on sale today. So yeah, there's quite a few things that you can get. What about it for a case Montech X5M Micro 8 ATX? The motherboard for this is ATX, so we couldn't get away with an M-ATX case. Montech is also one of those companies, though, where I've heard of them enough. I think I recall maybe seeing them at Computex as well. So out of all of the like no-name, like if you wanted to buy a case from Montech, that would be like one of the ones I'd trust slightly more from the no-name generic brands, basically. But yeah, that is our build for the second day of Prime Big Deals Day 2025. It is a complete mess, but it's a fun mess, and I think that is what makes these live streams fun. So again, if you're planning on buying literally anything on Amazon today or any other day, then use our links. And if you want more live streams like this one, then of course we're going to do one for Black Friday. If you can't wait till Black Friday, then of course we're going to have Weekends with Runner, which is our kind of weekly weekend show where we just discuss random stuff, do random things. Like for example, I've built a routing keyboard, I've had cool guests on, and basically it's something different every single week. And I think this weekend, I think we're going to be discussing, well, definitely all of the very, very weird stuff that Xbox have been doing the past couple of weeks, and also that insane AMD OpenAI deal, or if anything else pops up, we'll be talking about that as well. But I think that's about it for this live stream, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hey, if you did, maybe subscribe, like, whatever, and I see you all in whatever I make next. Bye everyone.